Saturday the 3rd of May 2025 was Free Comic Book Day, and one of DC's offerings was the All-In 2025 Flip Book Special. One half of the book contained a tease for the new Superman series by writer Dan Slott, Superman Unlimited, while the other half features a story set in the Absolute Universe, written by Jeff Lemire. Now, I like Dan Slott as a writer. He wrote the majority of the Batman Adventures Volume 2 series, and how I wish that DC would greenlight a Batman Adventures Volume 3 that picked up where the last series left off. I can dream. I know some people went cold on his work on Spider-Man, but I generally enjoyed what I read, which admittedly wasn't all of it. But his Superman comic is off to a great start, and I wanted to briefly talk about that before getting to the Absolute story. This story, in the blink of an eye, sets the stage for the new status quo in Superman comics for the foreseeable future. The Daily Planet is under new ownership, Imani Edge, the ex-wife of the nefarious Morgan Edge. She plans on taking the Daily Planet brand global, and not just in print but also in video and streaming, with Lois Lane as the editor-in-chief. Imani identifies misinformation as one of the biggest challenges the world is facing, and she wants to dedicate her fortune towards battling it. We'll have to see how sincere she is, but given that she divorced Morgan Edge, former servant of Darkseid, she's probably on the up and up. The next couple of pages focus on Superman doing his regular thing, stopping a robbery, rescuing a child from Metropolis Zoo's lion enclosure, stopping a plane crash, putting out a fire, lifting a sinking ship, and giving a morale boost to a young busker. I liked how Superman gave the young singer some money and told her that he listens to every new song that gets released, and he thinks that she has real talent. I like the image of Clark Kent sitting at his desk just listening to the latest releases on Spotify all day, every day. But it's the perfect encapsulation of everything Superman is supposed to be, so we're off to a great start. The final section of the issue deals with a huge asteroid that appears out of nowhere, made up of inertron, a highly dense, otherworldly metal that is impossible to scan through. With all the other heavy hitters occupied elsewhere, Superman steps up to break the asteroid into pieces and save everyone on Earth. However, all is not as it seems. When Superman hits the asteroid, he discovers that only the outer layer is made of inertron. In reality, the asteroid is made of solid kryptonite, and it's heading towards Earth, which is a hell of a cliffhanger. I'll definitely be picking up Superman Unlimited. I mean, I buy most things that DC release, so it's not like I needed this special to tempt me over. But let me know if you're planning on picking it up too. And for anyone that hasn't been keeping up, there's a handy double-page spread outlining all of the important information you need to know to get you up to speed in both the mainline and the Absolute universes, which I thought was a nice touch. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the main event of the comic was the story set in the Absolute universe, Mirror, Mirror. This story follows the Absolute version of the Mirror Master, first seen in the closing segment of Absolute Flash 1, as he spies on the heroes. He notes Batman's patience and how he built himself up from nothing, as he pursues what I can only assume is a corrupt cop. There's no dialogue to tell us what's going on, we only hear Mirror Master's thoughts on what he's seeing. Next, Mirror Master heads to Smallville, where Superman battles some peacemakers. Here, Mirror Master notes that the peacemakers who claim to be liberating Smallville are just as likely to be oppressors trying to force their will on the people instead. Superman is the only one to see the truth, he notes. However, in his opinion, only one person is truly ready for the fight ahead of them: Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman fights what can only be described as techno-spiders in Gateway City. That place really can't catch a break, can it? First the Tetracide and his army of demon spawn, now robot spiders. Can it get any worse? Yeah, it probably will. While Mirror Master doesn't directly go and see the other heroes, Green Lantern, the Flash and Martian Manhunter, he is keeping tabs on them through shards of mirrors. That's not all he has in his home base. He has put together a whiteboard with string connecting different post-it notes to photographs indicating that he's tracking a vast conspiracy. At the centre of the whiteboard is an Omega symbol, most likely representing Darkseid given how burnt in it looks, but there's a chance that it could be a reference to the Omega Men, the revolutionary group from Absolute Superman. Looking at the photos and the post-it notes, there are a couple of things worth highlighting. So let's start in the top left corner. There are 4 photographs and 2 post-it notes here. There's a photo of a New Year's party marking 1944. A picture of the Green Lantern symbol that crushed part of the town of Evergreen, a picture of Absolute Joker, and then a picture of Peacemakers with "Who Really Controls Lazarus" written on it. In Absolute Superman 6 we saw that Ra's al Ghul is leader of Lazarus. Is this note referring to him, or could they be suggesting that there's someone else behind the demon's head? The second note asks, what is the Temple of the Fourth World? The Fourth World is Jack Kirby's line of comics featuring the New Gods, characters like Darkseid, Orion, Mr. Miracle, and so on. Sounds like there could be a religion of some sorts built up around them on the Absolute Earth. Maybe? The final note asks, to what end, the Omega Men? What is their objective, other than the defeat of Lazarus Corp? Probably nothing good. In the top right corner there are two photos, one featuring a man with a moustache, yes, very descriptive I know, someone taking a picture of a person flying, possibly Superman, and a drawing of a logo. It's a circle containing an Omega symbol with a star inside of it. This is likely a reference to Booster Gold, who has been captured by Darkseid's Legion. There are 3 post-it notes in this section. One asks, what/who is the White Martian, as seen in Absolute Martian Manhunter? The second post-it note, on green paper I might add, simply says, complete psychospheric collapse. The psychosphere is the collective unconscious where shared human thoughts, emotions and beliefs exist. It's often used to describe the realm of consciousness and its influence on culture, society and individuals. So this sounds like something the Martian Manhunter would have to deal with. And the last note here asks, Despero? A play on the villain Despero, perhaps? The final segment of the whiteboard contains 2 photos, one of Wally West, the other of Dr. Fate's helmet. The 4 post-it notes here say, the beginning is the end. A reference to Darkseid, the creator of this universe perhaps. The second note says, Black Stars, who were a sinister alternative to the Green Lantern Corps. Then we have, Stewart knew the weakness, which is clearly a reference to John Stewart as seen in Absolute Green Lantern. And finally, how far out is the world that's coming? Which, while vague, sounds pretty ominous. Those were all of the teasers for what's to come in the future, although there is one thing to mention. The final page reveals that Mirror Master wasn't alone in his base. No, he was joined by the mainline universe version of himself. 2 Mirror Masters, potentially working together. The final tease says that this story will be continued in summer of 2025, which isn't actually very far away. Now, I have to be honest, the idea of the mainline universe crossing over with the Absolute universe doesn't fill me with a lot of excitement, especially so soon in the line's run. I do worry that involving another Earth with almost 100 years of continuity will bog things down. While I'm very well versed in the decades of continuity, I found the fresh start of the Absolute books pretty enjoyable. However, I'm going to keep an open mind. I should trust that they won't ruin the line by bringing in unnecessary crossovers. If you want to get your hands on a copy of this comic, you should try heading to your local comic shop. Alternatively, you can download it for free via Amazon. I've included a link in the pinned comment on this video and the video's description. Once you've read the comic, let me know what you think. Next time. Well, this week was pretty light on new comic releases, but next week is going to be pretty big. First of all, we have the final issue of Two-Face's first series, and the control of Harvey Dent's body is on the line. Then there will be 2 Absolute series releases. First up is Absolute Superman 7, which will tell us more about their mysterious new version of Brainiac and his particular interest in the last son of Krypton. He's going to be connected to Krypton somehow, isn't he? And then it's time for the second issue of Absolute Green Lantern, where the alien Abin Sur delivers his judgment on the people of Evergreen, including Joe and Hal. Is he friend, foe, or something else entirely? Hope to see you then.